All right, let's get into it. Let's get into this workout. So I'm just gonna go through about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 moves. We have 8 to 12 reps is our goal today. 2 to 4 sets. We've been sticking with that for about a week or so. And yeah, we're gonna get into it. So I'm using all adjustable dumbbells on this workout. Depending on how I feel with how heavy or light it is, you're gonna see me adjust the weight. If you're following along, feel free to do what feels right for you. And I'm just gonna try to have fun with this workout. I'm gonna go for basically total body today. I've got a little bit of upper, a little bit of core, a little bit of lower. So just getting warmed up here. Not really lifting anything heavy quite yet. I know I'm gonna be doing some Arnold presses pretty soon, so I'm just gonna get warmed up with that movement just on one dumbbell and start very light. This is the very beginning of my warm-up here, so I am just going nice and easy to get my body ready for exercise and just feeling these movements out. So basically I'm going to be doing some easier versions of each of these moves. I'm not going to count it as my first set. I'm just going to feel them out, get a sense for what kind of weight I want to use for each one as I go, and gradually get my heart rate up and get a little bit of effort in my muscles. All right, and a lot of these, I will change some of these to a single arm or single leg exercise if I'm feeling like I need to lighten it up, and if I feel like I'm gonna pick up the effort and I can handle a little bit more, I might go for 2 dumbbells at a time, or I might increase that weight. But for now, just warming up. Just feeling out these moves, activating the muscles I'm gonna be working harder very soon, and getting my heart rate gradually up in this warm up. I usually like to warm up for about 5 to 10 minutes. So I'm gonna do a whole set or whole round of these moves similar to the moves similar to the actual workout, 1 round through as my warm up. All right. So we have our press. That was my modified Arnold press. I'm gonna go into a modification of the Gorilla Row. Now on the Gorilla Row pretty soon, I'm gonna be at the floor very much. This is not the move, this is just a modified version of it. I'm gonna be very much bent over and sitting low into a squat as I row. So I'm just getting low in a similar way and practicing this row, but I will be postured in a much different way for the Gorilla Row, as you'll see. But right now, I'm just getting that arm moving, just focusing on the upper body mechanics here. And I want to get a bit of stabilization going, get all the stabilizing muscles going, and that's why I'm resting on my own leg here. I'm not relying on too much support. I'm not using a bench today. I'm trying to get a bunch of muscles working just a little bit in this warm-up. All right, that's my modification for the Gorilla Row. I'm gonna go to the other side. I'm not really counting these so far. I'm really just, again, getting that mechanic, that upper body mechanic, similar to the harder version I'm gonna do very soon. This is already feeling pretty good. Really just, I always like that feeling when my body wakes up as I get into the workout. I'm just gonna get about 1 more here and pause. Okay. From that single arm row, I'm gonna take just 1 weight and 1 foot. I'm gonna focus on balance. I have my opposite leg, opposite arm, and this is gonna be a slow forearm curl. Now, when I get into the actual non-modified version of this workout, I'm probably gonna use 2 weights, but I'm gonna stay on this 1 foot so I can get both arms going. But now I'm just still warming up. And I'm gonna go for 1 more on this side. Not counting, again, just feeling it out. Just feeling the move, getting a sense of what I can do weight-wise today, what I can do tempo-wise. This is also going to give me a gauge on how long I might rest between these moves. Because by the way, in this circuit, the way it's laid out, We have freedom to rest however long we need between each exercise. And for me, that's going to depend on how much effort I'm putting forth. And after I'm done with the whole round, from the Arnold press all the way to the deadlift, I'm going to rest for probably about a minute or so before I come back to the next round. All right, that's feeling pretty good. Single leg dip. All right, so this is going to be a modified version of the dip. So right now, I'm just going to warm up by holding this statically. I'm just going to keep my elbows just very slightly bent and keep that foot off the floor. Now this is feeling pretty easy for me already, so I'm going to do a very small movement with this elbow. I'm trying to keep my shoulders down away from my ears, and I'm moving very slowly. I am getting a bit warmed up here, so I'm allowing myself to put in a little bit more effort as I feel like my body's ready for it. I'm going slow. Arms are starting to burn, so for me, I'm gonna start switching that foot up, and I'll get a few more on this other foot. What I really like about this one is that I get to work on balance and stabilization, as well as getting my arms a little bit stronger at the same time, working that tricep in the arms. Nice and easy, and I'm gonna do 2 more on this side. That's 1, and that's 2, okay. And then I'll do a modified version of the deadlift for my warm-up. Not the heaviest weight I can go, but enough for an opposite, basically a contralateral single leg deadlift. So I'm gonna aim my hand towards my opposite foot, keeping my back nice and flat. I'm gonna let myself hinge forward and slowly pop back up here. Now if I can, I'll try to stay on one foot the whole time. I may lose my balance, especially if the weight gets heavy. So that means I might put my foot down. But the goal is to go nice and slow on one leg the whole time. And this is feeling pretty good already. I'm gonna do 1 more on this side, and I switch. I'm gonna go right to the other side, aiming my hand towards the contralateral side, across the body, and slowly I pop back up. Now I have to remind myself not to look down too much, because every now and then I do make mistakes in my form too, but I am just basically trying to keep my neck nice and neutral so I can breathe, my spine neutral, everything's flat. And I'm putting that weight, that effort, on the leg the most, that single leg that's holding me up here. Now I'm gonna do 2 more on this side. That's 1, and that's 2. Okay, so that was my warm-up set. Let me reload this page, make sure everyone can see me okay. So that is my warm-up set. I am feeling good and ready for a real round now. So I'm gonna try not to modify these from now on. I'm gonna try to go through them with as much weight as I can move, 8 to 12 reps for 2 to 4 sets. So my goal is to do at least 2 sets. I'm not gonna aim for more than 4 sets. So keeping that in mind, that's gonna help me adjust my weight, my tempo, my rest time, all of our training variables as we go. So let's get into our first move, Arnold press. So now I'm gonna do 2 weights on this one, so I can get at least 8. Now, just so I have enough room and you can see me, I'm gonna do this on the floor. My palms are facing in, my palms will face out at the very top there. So I'm gonna try to stay nice and upright here, not shake or move or assist myself with anything other than my arms, and see if I can get at least 8 per hand. I think that's 3. I'm gonna keep going. 4, 5. I'm doing my best just to keep my torso upright. 6, I'm feeling that already. I'm going for that burn in the shoulders. 7, I'm gonna go for 1 more. And 8. And once I feel like I have control I'm gonna stand up nice and tall and get ready for the next one. Hopefully I don't unplug the camera there with my weights. All right, so from the Arnold press, I go for the gorilla row. Now this one, I don't do very often. This one's hard. How else can I describe it? So if I can get my positioning right, what I'm trying to do is go wide with my stance. Weights start at the floor. I have my hips very low. I keep my back nice and flat. And I'm gonna push against the floor with one weight, pull in or row in with the other. That's 2. That's how I'm gonna count it today. So each side is 1, that's 3, 4, pushing away from the floor. 5, 6, 7. I'm gonna go for a few more. 8, just so you can see me here. That's 9. One more time. And 10. And once I feel like I have my balance, my stability, I'm gonna keep my chest up, back flat, and I can stand nice and tall with that weight. All right, that's feeling good already. Move these weights a little bit. All right. From the gorilla row, we go to, all right, this one's cool, single leg forearm curl. So I'm gonna be using a bit heavier weight on this one because the effort's gonna be on just rotating my forearm, but I'm gonna do that in a controlled, stabilized way. So I'm gonna take one foot off the floor. I'm just trying to rotate my hands in and my hands out. Now, depending on what kind of weight you have when you're trying this out, you do what you can. Obviously, you do the weight you can handle if you're following along. But for me, I need a lot of weight to really feel this. It may not be the best one with really light weights if it feels way too easy, but you can always change the move completely. All right, I think that was about somewhere around 8 on that side. And my hands are feeling pretty good so far, so I'm gonna try about 8 on the other foot here. I am feeling it already though. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's pretty good so far. All right. Whew, I gotta let my grip rest from that. That is a lot on the grip, especially just holding those weights after a while. I'm definitely feeling that, so I let my grip rest a little bit. Single leg dip, okay. Which is kind of nice because I don't have to hold the weights on the next one. I'm going in order here. So I'm gonna go for that single leg dip now. I'm gonna have a seat. I'm using a couch. This can be done on a bench or a chair, whatever stable surface we have. And I'm gonna alternate on this one. So very similar to the way I warmed up, but now I'm gonna try to dip down as low as I can comfortably and now alternate the foot that keeps me up off the floor. So again, we can modify how fast we go. We can do this slowly. We can do this quickly. Today, I'm just going just about medium speed. Whatever feels like medium speed for me right now, that's what I'm doing. All right. And I think that's at least 8 there, but I'm gonna go for 2 more. That's 1 and 2. Come up and rest here. And a deadlift to finish this round. So, I know I can handle a little bit of more weight than I was using before on the deadlift, so I'm gonna go for a little heavier of a weight, because now I'm not on 1 foot. That was my warm-up version. I'm gonna try to do this on 2 feet and just hinge forward, stick my hips back, proud chest, as low as I feel comfortable, and I stand nice and tall. Always focusing on form and posture first. Just hinging, I'm not rounding my back, I'm just sticking my hips back, keeping my back nice and flat, and I stand nice and tall. I think this is 4 here. I'm gonna try for at least 8. 5, 6, 7, and I go for one more, and that's 8 there. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna take about a minute rest here. Make sure my stream is going well. Let's make sure this is working here. I think it is. Yeah, and feel free, anyone in the chat, feel free to let me know if my volume's not good or if you can't see anything. Feedback is welcome. All right, now I'm just resting, catching my breath. Good time for water. Okay. Just making sure my stream is good here. Okay, feel pretty good and rested. I'm gonna grab some water before I get into this next round. Okay. All right, coming back to round 2. So I'm gonna try to get at least 8 again. I'm feeling good and ready to push myself. So let's see if I can get in a few more reps or maybe use a bit of heavier weight. I'm gonna stick with the same weight. Maybe I can get a few more reps in here. So I'm coming back to my Arnold press. Come down to the floor, posture up, hands rotate on the way up. Palms in on the down, palms out on the up. That's 2. Let's see what we can do. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm gonna go for 10, 8, 2 more, 9, one more time, and 10. All right. Got my balance and I'll stand nice and tall after that. Okay, stream is working great. Great. Okay, from that press back to the gorilla row. So I'm gonna go a little bit heavier since I know I'm only lifting one weight at a time, and definitely using a bigger muscle group than the shoulders. So I get nice and wide, come down to the floor. I'm still postured up, even if I'm not using heavy weight. I'm still gonna prioritize my form here. Okay, I'm gonna stay nice and low, one at a time. That's 1. That's 2. 3, 4, 5. Woo. Feel that already. 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm gonna go for 10 on this one as well. And 10. Stay nice and tall. Okay. That is definitely feeling heavy. All right, good. Great. Okay. From that row, let's go for the single arm forearm curl. I'm gonna stay on the heavier side. Let my grip relax for a second. All right. So, just like before, stabilize on one foot. I'm gonna try for 8 to 12 on each foot. So I may lose my balance like you see just there. As soon as I'm ready, I come back. 6, I think that's 7 there. 8, 9, and 10. Whew. My grip is already feeling it. I'm gonna try to get 10 on the other side here. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. My hands were ready to let go. So that's when I stop. Whew. Let my hands relax for a second. Let's fast forward on this music a little bit here. Get back into it. Okay, so from there, single leg dip. I'm gonna come back. It's the couch, chair, bench, whatever we like. 1 foot up. That's 1. I'm gonna alternate again. That's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm gonna try for 12, 11, and 12. Catch my breath for a second. All right, still in this circuit, so I'm not gonna rest very long. Let's come back to that deadlift. Now I am already out of breath, so I'm not gonna go much heavier on this one. I'm already feeling this. So I'm gonna try to keep myself out of breath here. Posture first, I hinge forward, keeping my back flat, hips back, and pop right up. At the speed I can handle. So always form first, especially on the deadlift. I'm only going as fast as I feel like I have good control. That's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm gonna go for 2 more. 9, 1 more time, and 10. All right, that is round 2 done. So I'm gonna take at least a minute break, catch my breath, get ready for round 3. And of course, water. I'm just gonna keep resting a little bit here so I can get my energy back. All right. I'm gonna rest a little bit longer. So we've got 2 rounds so far. We've gone through everything twice. Got our Arnold press, gorilla row, single leg forearm curl, single leg dip, and our deadlift. That was 2 rounds for me. This is gonna be my 3rd and final round. That's gonna fall right between those 2 and 4 sets that I wanna accomplish today. And see if I can really push myself on this 3rd set. Since this is the last one I'll be doing, I'm gonna try to finish strong here. So, coming back one more time. It's my Arnold press. I'm gonna get down to the floor here so you can see me. Now, of course we can do this standing or kneeling, sitting, whatever, as long as we have space for the hands. Right now I'm just kneeling because I wanna make sure I have space for my hands overhead and just so you can see me today. But either way, same motion with the hands. It's a little bit easier for me to stay with my torso upright down here. Sometimes it's a little bit harder for me to do that upstanding, but everyone's different. All right, that's 6. 7, it's getting heavy. 8, I'm gonna go for 10. 9, one more time here. And 10. All right, Definitely feeling that one. Woo! Yes, I am definitely feeling that one. Okay. We've got our Arnold press. I'm gonna come back to the gorilla row. That means, hey, how's it going, Sharky Larky? Awesome. Going good, getting in a good workout. So, gorilla row. So I'm gonna go a little heavy. I'm gonna pick up the weight a little bit more on this set. I'm gonna go for 50 pounds per hand now. Since it's my last set, and I'm gonna try to push myself here. Okay, so I'm gonna safely get myself down here. Support on the weight, feet nice and wide, hips low. All right, set 3. I'm going for at least 8 on each side. That's 2, and I just reminded myself I'm gonna start each rep alternating from the other one first. I think that's 3 or 4. Let's get at least another 4 here. 5. Whew, yes, this is getting very heavy. Very heavy indeed. 6. 7. This is getting heavy. All right. At least one more. I think that's 8 there. I'm gonna go for 2. 2 more for good luck. Whew, that's 9. One more time. And 10. Whew. Wow. That was hard. Especially keeping my form staying down there. I was working my legs too, for sure. I'm just gonna move a little bit and breathe because that was hard. That was really hard. Anytime I have to rest, I do like to keep moving. I'm not gonna completely sit still. I'll get a bit of water. And as you can see, I needed a lot more rest after that one. That was really hard for me. So again, with this workout, the beauty of this style of working out, I really like circuit training in this way, is because minimal rest in between. As soon as I feel like I can do the next one with 8 to 12 reps, knowing I'm gonna do 2 to 4 sets, I'm gonna wait just long enough until I feel like I can do the next set in good form. So I'm not gonna go until I feel like I'm really ready to do this well. All right, I'm starting to catch my breath. So I'm gonna go for that single leg forearm row. All right, and I'll keep it heavy. Let's try the 50s, why not? Why not? My grip is gonna feel it, but we're gonna try. I'm gonna try for 8 to 12 each leg. Get my balance first. I'm coming in and out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm gonna do one more. 10. Readjust my grip here. Other leg comes up. See if I can do another 10. I'm feeling already. 3, 4. I'm trying for 10 each leg. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Woo! Yes. My grip. I was feeling it for sure. Okay, we're getting close. We've got our single leg forearm curl. Let's go for that single leg dip. I'm gonna try to keep my heart rate up. Yes, I am needing recovery, but I know I can do these in good form even though I'm out of breath. So I'm gonna go right for it. That's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm gonna do a few more. 11, 12. Yeah, we have 8 to 12 reps, but I feel like I can handle it. I'm gonna go for a few more. Last time I do these today, so I'm just gonna burn out. I'm gonna try for 4 more after this. That's 1, 2, 3, one more time, and 4. Okay. Woo! Arms are feeling it. Cardio is there. But I have one more move. So I'm gonna get that deadlift. Woo. Okay. I'm gonna need the energy for this deadlift. Let me move these weights a little bit so the camera can see here. Okay. I'm gonna go heavier on the deadlift. Try for the 50s. I'm going with the weight that feels good for me. We always use the weight that feels good for us. Okay, so posture first, hips back, back flat. I hinge forward. Here we go. Let's get at least 8. That's 1. Woo. Heavy already. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, my grip is going for first. 7, ooh, 8. So I'm gonna go for 10. 9, woo, 10. Wow, that was hard. That was hard. That was hard on the grip more than anything. Okay, legs are feeling it too though, of course. All right, so we got 3 rounds. We got Arnold press, gorilla row, single leg forearm curl, our single leg dip, and our deadlift. I did my best to do at least 8 to 12 reps, and I'm feeling it. So I'm gonna leave it at 3 rounds today. Great job if you followed along. That one was tough. It was tough for me. How was it for you? Did you feel good? Great job. Okay.